Hey everyone, Kitty here. Today we actually have a new video of Skirk called An End and a Beginning for Genshin Impact, obviously. So we are going to be watching this and see what new lore we are getting. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to move to the side.
Skirk の行方か。手がかりはあるのかな?
Is that Alakino?
師匠は謎めいた人で。
どんな人物かがわからないことにはな。
そうだな。そういえば、俺が卒業した日、3つの質問をしていいと言われた。まずは、ずっと不思議だったんだけど、なんで俺を弟子にしてくれたの？
お前があれを呼び覚ましたからだ。私が教えた武芸が将来役に立つだろう。もちろん生きて帰るにはもっと強くならなければならないが。
すでにいろいろ習っただろ。どうやってもっと強くなればいいんだよ。
まだ基礎だけだ。弓の扱いもまだ荒い。形ある武器を完全に極めれば次のステージに行けるだろう。すべてを手中の刃と化し、神羅万象を自在に操るのだ。そうすれば師匠のようにさらなる力を追い求められる。
わかった。じゃあ最後の質問だ。師匠はなんでいつもそんな顔してるの？強くなるって楽しいことじゃないの？師匠
Again! Well, I guess for the first time. Oh, what did you say?
それで師匠は何と？
深淵を離れるとき、師匠が最後にこう言ったのが聞こえた。いつか滅びゆく星々を越えていけば、お前にも私の見ている世界は見えるようになるだろう。
Oh shit. Okay, there's so much going on in there. So first of all, obviously here we have Tatalia talking to Arlecchino, the knave. What I find very interesting here is that he's asking her to find his master, right? So I think this is before Fontaine, because this is before Skirk shows up and saves him, right? So this is probably before the event of Fontaine, right? Now the other thing that's kind of interesting here, obviously he asked her, why did you agree to train with me? And she says, you awakened it. So we know that Tartaglia, Ajax, child, whatever you want to call him, he actually fell into a random spot of abyss. And when she says, you awakened it, I'm pretty sure it means a novel. We even see the shadow of the novel right there. And then she says, this training will prove useful in the future. If you want to survive that battle, you need to get stronger. So basically, by saying that he awakened it, that also means that the novel might come back and he will potentially have to fight it, which is exactly what happened in Fontaine. And because he was strong enough, he was able to actually survive the fight against it. And we do know that when he was fighting the novel, he wasn't using the power of his vision. He was actually using a technique that he learned from her. So that's very interesting. She was absolutely right. So you need to get stronger. I already mastered all weapons. Weaponry is just the starting point. Your bow work is sloppy. So what's so funny here is that Tatalia in the game, when you obtain him, he actually uses a bow, which means that the reason why he's actually using a bow is because he's trying to master the last weapon that he still hasn't fully mastered. So he's actually taking to heart what his master told him, which is very cute, very cute.
極
Then here she says that when you've truly mastered weapons, tangible weapons, heaven and earth become your blades. So I think here it means that once you actually have mastered your weapons, the next step in, like, you know, being a warrior basically is that you have control over you know, the elements, and they become your weapons. You don't actually need a conduit basically. So what I find very interesting here is because I believe this might be something similar to the Harshers, for example, where they control a concept, right? So like the Harsher of Thunder is going to control the concept of thunder, and they can use thunder as a weapon itself. Like the full element is under the control. It's very similar to the Archons as well, where they control either the earth or like the geo or the pyro, etc., etc. But then afterward, she says, all creation bends to your will. So I think this is what it means, right? And I think when she says creation here, if she mentions all of creation, I think this probably refers to either quantum or imaginary power. You can follow in the master's footsteps and seek even higher power. I'm not sure what this means here when they mention higher power. Maybe it means what is even higher than like the archons, where that would be maybe the heavenly principles. So maybe it's like the gods and goddesses of the world, right? Rather than, let's say, it would be like if the archons and the hershers of the kings and queens, then the heavenly principles and the shades and all of that are like the gods and goddesses, basically. Next question. Why are you not happy? Then I love that she yeeted him off as he was a kid, and then she did it again as an adult when we saw the novel. She said, traverse the wreckage of the stars one day, and you will know the world I see. So what I think is very interesting here is that when she says the wreckage of the stars, I think it means what is outside of TEYVAT, right? And we know that outside of TEYVAT, like the entire world is like completely like red and destroyed. There's like fragments of like planets and stars and stuff like that. So I think that TEYVAT is actually a remnant of a planet that is inside a universe or like a galaxy that was completely destroyed. So for example, think about like in HSR, there is like entire galaxies that was destroyed by the entire organic virus, for example, right? And they've just been completely destroyed, all by, you know, destroyed by Nanook, for example. They just go around and destroy everything. So I actually think that TEYVAT is still in one of those galaxies that was destroyed. I'm not saying it was destroyed by Nanook or anything. And basically, if you leave TEYVAT and you traverse the space, you will see the wreckages, and you will know the world as she sees it, because she is not from TEYVAT, so she knows what happened to the galaxy. And I think that TEYVAT is actually what we see here, this big ball. I think TEYVAT is actually a dead planet, and what we're living in right now, I think is actually a fake TEYVAT that was protected or that was created from the dead planet. Kind of like what happened in Mars in Honkai Impact 3rd. Maybe it is a simulation or a dream. Kind of like how, you know, the Loom of Fate, you create destiny. So maybe they were able to create a world that sustained itself within this dead planet. And I think she actually was from another planet or a moon or something, and we can see TEYVAT. Or maybe TEYVAT is the moon itself. It's hard to say, but clearly the place she is completely barren. Maybe she then decided, or she wanted to go there, and Certalogy found her and trained her and then opened the way to TEYVAT, because that's the only inhabitable place that's still left in this galaxy. I don't know. I'm wilding with massive theories. This is so interesting to me. I cannot wait for this patch because, like, they better give us answers. I'm so excited. I am literally so excited for this quest. This is gonna be so good. I feel like we're finally actually stepping into the late game of like the story of Genshin Impact. This is the first step toward like finding the truth, and because we're gonna learn the truth and then we're gonna fight for a good resolution, right? And this is the last step. So I'm very, very excited. Let me know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on Skirk, on this whole story of the potential like planets? Is TEYVAT already destroyed? Is TEYVAT the last planet in the galaxy that's still alive? All of that stuff. Let me know in the comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye guys!